And a happy Friday to you, everybody. It is the 14th day of June, 2019. We've made it to the end of another work week here on the NCW Life channel. It is the last day of school. Da-da-da-da. I think for almost everybody. Of course, most of the graduating classes have already commenced their exercising and have moved on. But for the rest of the schools, they still had a couple more days to go. And today, or at least I know for the Wenatchee and Eastmont school districts, it's the last day of school. And I think it is for almost everybody else. And then it's summer vacation time. That's one of those, that sweet spot in time that we all remember growing up, the last day of school each school year. No, not a lot gets done. Who's kidding who? So for all you kids out there, happy last day of school. I'm Dan Kuntz. Got a good show for today. Beautiful day, beautiful morning, lots of sunshine all weekend long, warm but not hot. Gorgeous weather coming our way. We set a record yesterday. Actually, we tied a record. We hit 95 degrees as officially measured up at Pangborn Memorial Airport, and that means we tied the record of 95, which was set back in 1974. Not going to tie any records today or over the weekend, but we're in for a very pleasant stretch of weather. Forecast details are coming up. By the way, our friends out in Ephrata, out in the Columbia Basin, you set a new record yesterday. It was 98 in Ephrata, and that broke the old record. I think it was like 95, so it was very warm. Everybody, it was very warm. We had that red flag warning. It is now expired, which is good news because the forecast was spot on yesterday from the National Weather Service. They were predicting near record high temperatures. We got that. Strong winds in the afternoon. We got that, but luckily, no wildfires. Whew. So we dodged a bullet. Little residual breeze from this cold front that came in, this shortwave cold front. So we're going to have a little bit of a breeze today. It's going to be a beautiful day to like fly a kite. And then a gorgeous weekend coming up. Can't wait to get you through that. Program and reminder, we will have the Wenatchee Valley College commencement exercises for you live here tonight, beginning at 7 o'clock at Lee Boffill Field to the Apple Bowl. The crew is ready to go, and this will wrap up our commencement television season for the year. We did the Westside High School commencement exercises last night. Wenatchee Valley College's is tonight, and then that's it. And all of the four that we did, the Wenatchee and Eastmont commencement exercises last week, Westside last night, and Wenatchee Valley College tonight, they'll all be available for you to watch online in the next couple of days. Wenatchee and Eastmont's is already online, so if you just go to ncwlife.com, you'll be able to watch the commencement exercises for either Eastmont or Wenatchee in their entirety whenever you want to, which is pretty cool. Then we'll have the Westside and college graduations up and running for you middle of next week or so. Lots of news to get to, including your weekend events with Megan McPherson. That's coming up. Also, sports. The Mariners bullpen let them down again, but the Apple Sox looked pretty good. They took 2 of 3 from the Port Angeles lefties. Nice victory from the Apple Sox last night. We'll do that when we talk to sports. Talk to sports. Talk of sports. Give you the sports report. There you go. We also have the obscure holiday today and history birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike Ignati's opinion. And Hayley Stoebner is back. Hayley, of course, is part of the Fostering Washington group, and they have a big foster parent get-together workshop, interested in becoming a foster parent kind of thing. It's coming up next weekend at the Pybus Public Market. If you're interested in becoming a foster parent and the need is out there, you'll be hearing from Hayley in the back half of the program. Lots of sunshine, light breeze, 63 degrees. Let's buckle our seatbelt, put our chair, put our trays in the upright position, and let's take a look around North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras. The cross camera zoomed in just a little bit. Beautiful view. We are continuing the drying out process. There is now no snow, by the way, on Mission Ridge. It's gone. I have a beautiful view of the summit of Mission Ridge from my house, and the snow's gone. There was still a little bit of snow earlier in the week, but it's out of there. Columbia River still running high, still running cold. Will for quite some time, but they had a lot of snow melt with those very warm temperatures in the upper elevations. That's why the Columbia is higher and colder, as it usually is this time of the year. Beautiful view from the Wenatchee Valley, from our cross camera. Good stuff, Megan. Where are we off to? Megan says we're going to go take a look at the Orondo Rock camera as Turtle Rock sticks out there. You can't quite make out Rocky Reach Dam, but that reminds me, of course, what you're seeing, what dominates your screen is Lake Aniat. That's the part of the Columbia River immediately behind Rocky Reach Dam. And of course, Aniat celebrates their 75th anniversary with an all-day party tomorrow in Aniat, in both the city park and at the Kiwanis Park. They're going to have a pancake breakfast, live bands, a beer garden, lots of booths, lots of activities, live music, good times in Aniat this weekend. And Mother Nature is going to give them Great weather. Camera 3, where are we off to, Megan? We're off to that's the White River Valley, so I'm assuming that's the Two Rivers camera, is that correct? Yay, I got that one right. A couple of days ago, we had that camera turned 180 degrees so we could see Lake Wenatchee. Now we have it pointed up the other direction to the White River Valley. Looks like it's a little breezy there. Now, as we mentioned before, these cameras are on towers. Some of these towers are very high up. This tower here that you're looking at is probably about 250 feet in the air, pointing right up the White River Valley. That's why it's moving around a little bit. It's very susceptible to the wind. So we still have some residual winds up there. But boy, it's just a gorgeous view of that area. Camera 4, we are off to Billy Goat. Ooh, what's that? That's not a cloud. Is that a bug that's making its home on the lens? I have some very anal retentive friends who would just want to go up there and climb a ladder and clean that lens off. That must be what that is. That can't be a cloud. Somebody's making a home there, but a great view of Billy Goat from the Alta Lake Golf Course, of course, plainly in view. We have the Columbia River, the Methow River, Pateris, Brewster. A couple of our co-workers went up to the Gamble Sands Golf Resort earlier in the week to shoot upcoming Sights and Sounds. I got to get up to Gamble Sands. It's one of the finest golf courses in the Pacific Northwest, and it's right here in our own backyard, only about a 90-minute drive from little old Wenatchee town. So that's our view all over north central Washington and all over the Wenatchee Valley, again, courtesy of Local-Tel Sky-Fi high-speed wireless, which means you don't need fiber to your house to get high-speed wireless. Just give Local-Tel a call. They'll take care of you. At 7 minutes after the hour from the National Weather Service, here's your forecast. And you'll see lots of bright yellow round things that represents the sun. Now, we're still going to deal with a little breezy conditions, occasional rogue gust of wind. The high-pressure dome that gave us all that sunny and warm weather has flattened out. It's moved away, but there's another one that's set up that's going to come right in behind it, and that's going to start happening really on Saturday and Sunday. So a little on the cooler side than what we've had, but it's still temperatures above normal. Our normal high for this time of the year is about 78 or 79, so we'll be above that right through the forecast period. Sunrise this morning, 5:03, sunset 8:59. That gives us 15 hours and 56 minutes. 1 week from today is the summer solstice. I'm looking forward to that. So nothing but sunshine. Northwest wind today about 11 to 14 miles an hour. Little windy tonight, actually quite comfortable, about 11 to 15 miles an hour if you're going to go to the Wenatchee Valley College commencement exercises. It will be warm. It'll be in the upper 80s. Anyway, it's 7 o'clock tonight when things get going, but once the sun goes down, which is pretty much right about the end of the commencement exercises, it'll still be rather comfortable. Sunny and 92, very little wind on Saturday, so Saturday is just perfect to go out and enjoy. Sunday, we do it again, lots of sunshine, borderline hot, about 94, and then for the most part, just lots of sunshine, very comfortable temperatures all the way through Thursday of next week's summer is almost here. I can hardly wait. It is 8 minutes after the hour. Before we take a break and come back with your news, thanks to our friends at Confluence Health for sponsoring this program. Confluence Health, dedicated to providing safe, quality health care for everybody in North Central Washington. Grab your cup of coffee, come right on back. The news is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 4 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, agent here at Senior Insurances of North Central Washington, where we help our clients navigate the Medicare world. One of the things we really enjoy doing is teaching our clients about their rights. Like, did you know that if you have a traditional Medicare supplement, you can change that monthly all year long, regardless of prior health conditions? So if you'd like to know more about your options with Medicare, you can visit us at one of our 5 local offices, as well as give us a call at 888-2600.
Welcome back. Lots of sunshine, 63 degrees at 10 minutes after the hour. We'll top off at just about 90 today with a little bit of wind and a gorgeous, gorgeous weekend coming your way and spilling right in to next week. Here's what's making headlines on this Friday. If you hate roundabouts, you're going to like this story. East Wenatchee Mayor Steve Lacy says the city and the state have scrapped plans to build 2 roundabouts at the intersections of 9th Street and Valley Mall Parkway and 9th Street and State Route 28. The plans were put on hold earlier this year after the estimated costs exceeded engineers' initial estimates. Lacy says an updated DOT study shows that singled intersections will make more sense from a cost-benefit standpoint.
The city will be going forward with planning for a traffic signal at the bottom of 9th Street, and we will be coordinating with WashDOT about other changes that will be made between those 2 intersections, crosswalks, other issues that will be best for traffic flow and pedestrians and bike traffic through that area. So there's still decisions to be made, but at least we know we're going forward with signals.
Lacy says the 9th and Valley Mall Parkway single project is estimated at $1.2 million. He says federal funds have already been secured. He says the singles of both of those intersections will be coordinated for smoother traffic flow. Well, a bear that confronted a jogger in Leavenworth's Enchantment Park last week was euthanized Wednesday by state wildlife officials. Captain Mike Jewell of the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife said the bear had a pattern of being aggressive towards humans and eating human-made food, and the bear likely would have returned to the area even if she had been relocated. On June 6th, the jogger, of course, jumped into the river as the bear approached. The bear was tranquilized in a tree near the park early Wednesday morning and then killed. Her two offspring, estimated at 16 to 18 months old, were captured and relocated to an undisclosed area. Joel said it was unfortunate that they had to kill the bear, but public safety was the first priority. Well, the cherry harvest is now in full swing. In Washington State, growers expect to pick 24.3 million boxes of fruit this season. That's according to estimates from the Northwest Cherry Growers Association. Chelan County Commissioner Doug England says the state-run migrant camp out there in Monitor is also in full swing.
You can start seeing them on the tree now. You can start hearing helicopters and wind machines going on every time there's a little bit of sprinkle, trying to get the trees dry again. And as a result, the labor camp has started up. And again, as you remember, this is a state contract that we have, and it involves trying to provide a place for workers for that cherry harvest on a very short-term basis. And it's very well run out there, and it does provide a needed niche for the cherry growers that need a short-term labor supply.
Northwest cherry growers report that over 9 million boxes are expected to be shipped in the month of June, with about 13.8 million in July and another 1.5 million or so in August. The Wenatchee World spoke with area fruit shipper McDougall & Sons. They reporting that they're receiving orders from Australia, China, Japan, and Korea. Well, in this morning's feature story, our very own NCW Life magazine producer Caitlin Heddersheet takes us behind the scenes of Icicle Brewing Company's new facility just off the Chumstick Highway to learn more about their growth and breakthrough with CO2 recapture technology.
Dean Priebe has been brewing beer at Icicle Brewing Company for just over 10 years. He says his start in brewing beer is similar to many who dabble in the craft.
Well, I took the path that many head brewers and brewers in the United States take, in that I started in brewing with home brewing. And through enjoyment of home brewing and learning, it just made me thirsty for more. So I took some classes and did a lot of online learning. I was lucky enough to do an internship at Pike Brewing Company, and that landed me the job here at Icicle Brewing Company. Washington State has over 400 craft breweries, and none of them are the same. They all make different beers, and they all do it in different ways. Here at Icicle Brewing Company, we've had a focus on American-style beers and German-style beers. The German, of course, because of our Leavenworth town's theme, Bavarian theme.
Freebie says he develops recipes in collaboration with other brewers, a team of 5 in addition to a packaging crew of 4. Dean says he helped design the original brewing setup and knew a production space was in the cards for Icicle Brewing down the line.
From the day we opened, we were planning on the next tank or the next piece of equipment we would add. Recently, we had a brewer head off to another job after 5 years, and I put together a list of all the changes that happened during his 5 years, and every year we were adding equipment or adding capacity. And at some point we just ran out of room here at the pub and needed another place to add more equipment, and that's what our production brewery is out there. We are able to add more tasting and taproom area here at our existing pub by removing all that equipment that was taking up space. We are putting in a smaller brew system here, so we still will be brewing here. That smaller system will actually allow us to brew new beers every week. With the bigger system, we will brew larger quantities of our popular, more widely distributed beers, but we should be able to offer a lot more variety here at the pub.
So what about that CO2 recapture unit? Dean says obtaining the equipment was a major breakthrough for the brewery.
Just recently, a small company, Earthly Labs, has created a small CO2 capture equipment for brewers our size. It's very exciting. It's something that I've been watching since even before I got into commercial brewing, which is the ability to capture CO2. When you are fermenting beer, yeast is converting sugars to primarily alcohol and CO2, and that CO2 comes off of your vessel and just goes into the air. And yet we use CO2 in the cellaring and packaging process for carbonation, for pushing beer, for packaging beer in a way that keeps it fresh. And we actually have to buy that CO2. So it seems ridiculous that we are creating tons of CO2 and then we're buying it. This way we are able to actually capture the CO2 that we create and reuse it, which seems simple, but it's a pretty complicated process, and for the last few decades it's only been the largest brewers with lots and lots of money that have been able to afford these large-scale pieces of equipment. We are the first ones in Washington State doing this.
The third annual Wenatchee Pride Festival is this Saturday. It's at a new location this year, Lincoln Park in Wenatchee. On Wednesday morning's edition of this very program, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, one of the organizers of the Wenatchee Pride Festival, Eddie Chaidez, told me that the event has simply outgrown its previous venue at the Pybus Public Market.
Starting our first one, we had about 150 people show up, and then with the success that we had last year at Pybus Public Market, we had about 1,200 people show up, and now at this big venue in Wenatchee at Lincoln Park, it's a great, beautiful space for us there, and we're anticipating at least 2,000 or more people. Yeah, so we're really excited.
Chaidez added that the event is open to anybody who wants to feel accepted and be accepted.
I think most of all, come and be there, and you'll see yourself be loved, supported, and the most amazing connections you'll ever feel. The most amazing, because sometimes it's your first, or sometimes it's one of the great things that I've been hearing is that there's more Pride mentions in Wenatchee, so it's now bringing back those people that left because of the mentions that we've been hearing, all the hype that we've been hearing, and really getting out there in the community is really coming together and feeling that love, feeling that support.
The festival is free, and it runs from 11 a.m. to 4 o'clock, again at Lincoln Park in Wenatchee. And that's just one of the many events going on this weekend. You don't believe me? Check this out.
Here's a look at what's on tap this weekend around the Wenatchee Valley. The Omi Gardens 90th Anniversary Celebration Concert is this Friday at 6:30 p.m. The Seattle-based Dusty 45's original tunes draw inspiration from the roots of rock, rhythm and blues, honky-tonk and jazz. Enjoy a fun concert in a beautiful setting. All proceeds go back to the Gardens. Gates open at 5 p.m. and the concert starts at 6:30. Tickets are available online. For the first time ever, Moses Lake Air Show presents a 2-day festival this Friday and Saturday, full of world-class aerial entertainment, delicious food, local artisans, classic car show, and to end it all, a VIP party. Currently signed as headliner acts are Vicky Benzine, Will Allen, U.S. Army Golden Knights, Alpha Jet, Yellow Thunder, and world-class announcer Ken Hildebrandt. The 17th annual Wenatchee River Bluegrass Festival is happening this Friday through Sunday at the Chelan County Expo Center in Kashmir. The extraordinary lineup goes like this: Michael Cleveland and Flamekeeper, Mile 12, Jeff Scroggins in Colorado, Ned Crisp in Bottom Line, Modern Tradition, Rusty Hinges Bluegrass, and Roosevelt Road. North Central Regional Library is launching its new telescope program with a night of stargazing at the Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort this Friday from 8 to 11 p.m. Learn about the night sky from guest speaker Jack Day and NCRL's STEM librarians. There will be telescopes for public use, along with the library's 3 new telescopes. NCRL will also have several iPads available for public use with an app to help identify constellations. People are encouraged to bring camp chairs and blankets to sit on the deck, in the parking lot, or on the hill to stargaze. The bar at the lodge will be open for purchasing drinks. And finally, join the Wenatchee Downtown Association and the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce as they host the 4th annual Ale Trail in downtown Wenatchee this Saturday from noon to 5 p.m. Ale Trail is a great Father's Day gift for Dad, or just a fun event to attend. Featuring breweries and cideries from across Washington State, stop into downtown businesses and taste featured selections. For more information on this weekend's events and others, visit the community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Yeah, no lack of things to choose from to do this weekend. And if you're just joining us, the weather is just going to be magnificent, but lots of sunshine, warm, but not hot, and a nice light breeze at times to keep things cool. So get out and enjoy this weekend. And of course, wherever you go this weekend, take us along. We're portable. We stream all the time on our website at ncwlife.com. Just click on the live stream and it's down the road we go. Quick programming reminder. A couple of things coming up this weekend that we're quite proud of. We're going to be televising live tonight, beginning at 7 o'clock at Leiboftel Field of the Apple Bowl, the Wenatchee Valley College commencement exercises. It'll take a little over 2 hours. We hope you can enjoy that. And, of course, it'll be available for you to watch on demand by the middle of next week. And then tomorrow night, the first of 4 Wenatchee Apple Sox games on TV right here on the NCW Live channel. The news will come your way with Grant Olson in the anchor chair, also handling the weather forecast. So Grant's going to be a very popular guy around the newsroom with this beautiful weather coming up. Grant with the news and the weather, Eric Granstrom with sports. You can watch it at 5, 6, and 10, 5, 6, and 10. And at the bottom of your screen are all the different ways you can get a hold of us. If you have a news tip out there, we'd love to hear from you. Just check it out at the bottom of your screen or go to our website at ncwlife.com. 63 degrees at 23 minutes after they are. Going to take a break. When we come back, sports. The obscure holiday. Today in history, birthdays are brand new. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNalty's opinion. And my conversation with Hayley Stoebner from Fostering, Washington. All coming up between now and 8 o'clock. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
I found a doctor that I just really like. And his name is Nick Collins. I just like everything about him. He's very thorough, but he's not intrusive at all. So he goes ahead and checks out things that somebody else might just let it go. Just about everything about him.
Hi everyone, this is Brent Crowder. After 13 years with the Town Auto Group, I have returned home to Town Toyota where it all started. If you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, let me help you find the right one at the right price. Toyota is reliable and trustworthy, and you can count on me to be the same. When it comes to buying your next car, you can't go wrong with Toyota and Crowder. Ask for Brent at Town Toyota or call me now at 888-5000.
We are back at 25 minutes after the hour. Let's do sports on this Friday. For the first time this season, the Wenatchee Apple Sox won a series. They beat Port Angeles 8-3 last night, so they take 2 of 3 from the lefties. The Sox scored first for the first time in the series on Blake Clausen's RBI double. That was the bottom of the first after the lefties tied it in the top of the third. Wenatchee struck back in the bottom of the inning on Cole McKenzie. He had an RBI base hit and then an RBI base hit by Dylan McPhillips. Port Angeles managed to pull within one in the fourth, but then the Apple Sox came right back again to take a 4-2 lead in the bottom of the fourth on a run-scoring base hit by Trent Sellers. McKenzie led off the seventh with a home run, his first as an Apple Sox. Wenatchee would play 3 more runs in the eighth before allowing 1 run in the ninth. The final again 8-3 on the mound. Seth Kuykendall was very good. He pitched 3 1/3 shutout innings. He had 4 strikeouts. Landon Schreier pitched the final 2 frames for the save. The Apple Sox host the Walla Walla Sweets in the first of 3 games tonight. 6:35, Gavin Gorell gets the start for Wenatchee. The Sweets, by the way, the only undefeated team in the league. They are 6-0 in West Coast League play. They had 2 non-league games this week. They beat Highline on Tuesday and Wednesday. And a reminder, we're going to have that second game of the series tomorrow night live right here on the NCW Live channel. It's the first of 4 broadcasts we're presenting. Eric Granstrom on the play-by-play pregame at 6:15 tomorrow. First pitch at 6:35. Let's take a look at the Les Schwab West Coast League scoreboard. A bases-loaded run-scoring double play and a wild pitch in a 2-run 6th inning was the difference. Cowlitz salvaged the final game of their 3-game set with Bellingham. They won 6-5. David Shlomovitz worked 4 innings of relief for the victory on the mound. The Black Bears improved to 3-6. A 4-run 8th inning highlighted by a 2-run base hit by Parker Bramlett helped Victoria earn a 5-3 win over Yakima Valley. Pippin pitching allowed 8 walks in the game as Yakima Valley fell for only the second time this year. Kyle Manzardo's leadoff home run sparked a 3-run 8th inning as Portland, the Pickles, knocked off Ridgefield 6-5. Michael Hicks only did all he could do for the Raptors at the plate. He had a 3-run home run in the third and 4 RBIs on the day, but it wasn't enough. Oh, and in a non-league game, Justin Parsons went 3 for 4 with a couple of home runs and an RBI. Bend beat Hayesville, the Hayesville Hammers, 9-1. To the standings, the current standings in the North Division as we head into the second weekend of play. Yakima Valley's lead in the North Division remains at 1.5 games over Port Angeles and Bellingham. Victoria 2 games back. The Apple Sox are 3.5 games out of first place. Kelowna 4 games back. Well, for the 3rd game in a row, Seattle's bullpen couldn't back up a good outing by a starter. The Mariners fell to Minnesota yesterday. The final was 10-5. UC Kikuchi went 5 strong innings. He allowed just 1 run on 6 hits, 4 strikeouts. His only run allowed was a solo home run by former Mariner Nelson Cruz. Cruz went 3 for 4 for the day, by the way, with 3 RBIs. Daniel Vogelbach was 2 for 4 with an RBI double, and Kyle Seeger contributing a double among his 2 hits. Seattle now heads to Oakland to begin a 3-game series, weekend series. They got the A's. Marco Gonzalez will take on Chris Bassett. 6:37, first pitch in Oakland. To the Les Schwab American League West scoreboard we go. Jackie Bradley Jr. hit a 3-run home run, one of 5 Boston home runs. The Red Sox down Texas 7-6. History made last night. Shohei Ohtani became the first ever Japanese-born player to hit for the cycle. The Angels win over Tampa Bay in Tampa 5-3. Ohtani homered in his first at-bat. Then the power went out in the ballpark. They had a 36-minute delay. They finally got the lights back on. Then he hit a triple. Then he hit a double. And finally a base hit. And the Seahawks, they wrapped up their 3-day mini-camp at the VMAC in Renton. Coach Pete Carroll says one of the highlights of this camp and this offseason is the kicker.
Both of our opportunities to end these sessions have been come down to a tie, last play, last second kick, and which just highlighted the consistency that Jason Meyer showed for us. He did a great job throughout this offseason. We're really fortunate to have him. Just consistency was really there, and leg power and all that. Working together with Michael and Tyler Rott, those guys did a great job. So we're that move that we made to get him, I think, is going to work out great for us, and it's going to give us the confidence to utilize the kicker like you'd hope to. And crucial situations, long balls when we got to go for it. We're gonna be playing with a lot of confidence in that regard. So.
Pete Carroll says he's pretty happy. He's got a pretty good vibe from the offseason workouts, and he said, hey, the Seahawks have bought in. They want to be better in 2019.
We've had an excellent offseason. These guys have done everything we've asked for. We have an attitude of pushing to the next, what's next and what's coming up, and always looking forward and positive and supportive of one another. Offense, defense is mixed really well. I love the way the coaches have made our sessions really where the players have been held accountable throughout. They've been tested on a regular daily basis, and it's just become part of the norm, and I think we're communicating better than we have because of it. So everything's rolling.
Seahawks get the next 6 weeks off to get together again in late July for training camp, and everything points towards August 8th, the first preseason game against the Denver Broncos. Speaking of football, the Wenatchee Valley Skyhawks hope the fourth time is the charm. They got Idaho this weekend. So far this season, in 3 American West Football Conference games against the Horsemen, Wenatchee Valley is, 0-3. Skyhawks came up short 33-22 in their opener. That was in Nampa, Idaho back in March. They fell 49-29 May 18th at the Town Toyota Center, and the last time they played, it was a 47-45 decision. Wenatchee Valley will get one more time tomorrow, 5 o'clock. It's in Idaho. The Horsemen are 9-0. Skyhawks are 4-5, but they do have a 2-game winning streak going. Coming up this weekend on the sports calendar, the Apple Valley Blues hosting their annual U17 Apple Valley Baseball Tournament. It's at Rec Park today through Sunday. The Wenatchee Senior Softball Association is hosting their Father's Day Tournament this weekend at Walla Walla Point Park, and the Columbia Basin Extreme is hosting the Crush and Crunch Girls Fast Pitch Tournament. It's at Kirby Billingsley Hydro Park this Saturday and Sunday, and those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Friday, 31 minutes after the hour. Happy Flag Day. That's the obscure holiday of the day today. Nothing obscure about it. There it is, the flag. Flag Day, celebrated on June 14th because on June 14th, 1777, by resolution of the Second Continental Congress, they adopted the Stars and Stripes as the American flag. It didn't become a holiday until 1916, and that was when Woodrow Wilson just issued a proclamation making June 14th Flag Day, and then Congress finally made it official. National Flag Day, June 14th, was established by an act of Congress in August of 1949. The oldest continuing Flag Day parade, they claim, and they wouldn't lie to us, is in Fairfield, Washington, our very own state. They say they started the Flag Day parade in 1909 and 1910, and they've been doing it every year since. So there you go. Happy Flag Day. June 14th. Today in history. It's June 14th. Happy 244th birthday to the Army. The Army says this is their birthday. It kind of sort of is. It was June 14, 1775 that the Continental Congress got together and said, we need an army if we're going to fight and win this Revolutionary War. The United States Army considers this their birthday. Of course, the 13 colonies had all of their own militias, and they were kind of all doing their own thing. There was no chain of command, and the Continental Army said this isn't going to work. You know, all the individual states are controlling their own militias and their own armies. We need one big umbrella organization. They got together and said, let's just have one army. We'll call it the Continental Army. George, you're in charge. Take over. Of course, after we won the war in 1783, after the Treaty of Paris was signed, the Continental Army was disbanded. They all went back to their farms and their lives, and they said, you know, we'll call you if we need you. And they needed them. Happy birthday to the Army, 244 years old today. As I mentioned already, June 14, 1777, 242 years ago, the Stars and Stripes adopted by Congress as the flag of the United States. That flag that you see there was the flag that was adopted on June 14, 1777, and it ran as the official flag until May 1st, 1795, designed by Francis Hopkinson. Sorry, Betsy Ross, it's a great legend and it's a great story, but it's not true. Francis Hopkinson designed that flag, the first flag, which was adopted on this date 242 years ago. And 17 years ago, on this very day, that close. That is not to scale. If it was to scale, I'd be going, whoa. It was an asteroid. It was called the 2002 MN, and it missed our little bitty planet by 75,000 miles. Seems like a lot, but 75,000 miles is about 1/3 of the distance between the Earth and the moon. So in the world of the solar system, it was just a fraction of an inch, or we would have been in a world of hurt. It missed us, though, so we're still here. Birthdays on June 14th. Guess who's 73 today? Donald Trump, the President of the United States, American businessman, of course, television personality. He is the 45th President of the United States. He is the oldest and by far the wealthiest person ever to assume the presidency, the first ever elected without any prior military or governmental service, and the 5th president to have won the electoral vote without winning the popular vote. And he is also the only president to have been divorced twice. Donald Trump is 73 years old today. Eric Heiden is 61, the American speed skater. Now he's a physician. He won an unprecedented 5 individual gold medals and set 4 Olympic records and 1 world record at the famous Olympic Games in Lake Placid, New York in February of 1980. The most successful athlete of those Olympic Games. In fact, the United States won 6 gold medals, the hockey team and Eric Heiden. Not bad. he had a pretty good run there. Eric Hyden is 61 years old today. And this makes me feel old. Steffi Graf is 50 years old. In 1988, she made history. Nobody's ever done this before or since. Became the only tennis player, male or female, back in 1988 to achieve the Golden Slam. She won all 4 Grand Slam singles titles and the Olympic gold medal. Steffi Graf is 50 years old today. Going to take a break. When we come back, a brand new opinion, one you've never seen before, from our good friend Mike Magnotti. We'll find out what's on his mind. Then Hayley Stoebner, in a conversation we taped a couple of days ago. Fostering Washington is her organization. You're interested in becoming a foster parent? They need them. She'll talk about that when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Club Crow is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow Saturday nights. We have live bands to rock the night away. Club Crow is bringing comedy to Cashmere. Check out our Facebook page for upcoming dates. Live jam session first Sunday of every month. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
At some point, we realized that value and practicality go hand in hand. A time when an unnoticed accumulation of items has become burdensome. These possessions still have value, but now lack usefulness. Donate your unwanted items to Goodwill and become a job creator. Your donations allow Goodwill to provide much-needed training to job seekers in our community, and that's pretty useful for everyone. Be a job creator. Donate. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, serving North Central Washington, is proud to offer the finest heating and cooling air quality products along with prompt and professional customer service since 1984. Regardless of the temperature outside, Arctic is here for you. Arctic offers a variety of services: residential and commercial heating, air conditioning, commercial refrigeration, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
Few things strike fear in the human heart, like the possibility of a rattlesnake bite. Dogs can encounter rattlesnakes on their walks or in their yards, and being curious, often get bitten on their face, neck, and legs. Luckily, a vaccination is available to help neutralize venom so dogs experience less pain and swelling. Even if your dog has received a vaccine, you still need to seek immediate help. Dr. Shauna Bayes and the staff of Paws and Claws care about your pet's health. Call 888-PAWS to schedule your vaccination today.
There's no substitute for the power of cable TV advertising. With Solion Cable TV advertising, you can reach your target audience right here in North Central Washington. We understand their viewing habits and can precisely target your customers on great cable networks like these. Call Solion Broadcasting today and let us show you how to put your business message right in front of thousands of prospects at a very affordable price. Solion Broadcasting, 509-888-2020.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, Rosie and I, we recently spent over $300 to see the musical West Side Story at the Fifth Avenue Theater in Seattle. That was fun. It was a great show. We enjoyed doing stuff like that once in a while. But are you aware of the incredible live theater that's available to us right here at a minuscule fraction of the cost right here in Wenatchee? Every year, local community theater groups out there, right here in our town, put on very high-quality productions. No joke. These productions are comparable to anything you're going to go see professionally over in Seattle. Now, I know many of you take advantage of these opportunities, but there are many more folks who aren't even aware of the live entertainment we are blessed to have right here. So, if you've never seen a live play or musical here in town, hey, I encourage you to give community theater a try. Trust me, you'll love it. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old, fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
RLS Productions is proud to bring to the NCW Life Channel the Concerts in the Gardens Summer Series held at Omi Gardens. The series features performances from Rare Earth's Peter Rivera, Heart by Heart, Too Slim and the Tail Draggers, The Infinity Project, the Wenatchee Swingin' Big Band, and a whole host of other great acts. Tune in Wednesdays at 1:30 and 7 p.m. and Fridays and Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. and 9 p.m. RLS Productions Concerts in the Gardens Summer Series, only on the NCW Life Channel.
And welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz with this stunning news release. Something is going on at the Pybus Public Market on June 22nd. First time Pybus has ever hosted an event. They're a little busy, as you might imagine. It's one of my favorite places to go. When you go by the Pybus Public Market on June 22nd of this year, you're going to see this lovely young lady to my immediate left. Hayley Stoebner is no stranger to this show. She's been here before. She's back from Fostering Wa. Good to see you again.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you too.
My pleasure. Always good to see you. First of all, before we get into the nuts and bolts, Hayley and her husband own the 509 Beer Works, right down about 3 blocks from where we're sitting right now, on the corner of Yakima and Columbia.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Went there with my family a few Fridays ago, and it was great. Good beer, good food, good staff, good people, lots of people.
Good. So glad you stopped in, and thanks for helping us spread the word.
Yeah.
We're building, and so we want to see more people from the valley come to see us there.
Well, you were also helping out our good friends at the Learning Treat. Help me out, is that right?
That's okay. So last month our Brewing Up Hope project was with the Teams Learning Center.
Yes.
And then
Okay.
this month we're also doing Sustainable Wenatchee. So we're partnering with them, and then $1 from our Wells and Wade Pale Ale will donate $1 from each pint sold to that nonprofit.
Does Jenna know about this? Ms. Fishback?
Yes,
She's been informed.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
she reached out to me and
Okay.
said, "Can we get in on that?" And I said, "Absolutely."
So, and the Wells and Wade Pale Ale is pretty good. I got to tell you, I've had it. But enough beer talk. Let's move on to Saturday the 22nd, the Foster Care Information Fair. What is the Foster Care Information Fair, Hayley?
Right, that's a mouthful, I know.
Yeah.
So basically it's a chance for the public to come to us to learn about fostering or volunteer opportunities for the fostering community, and then the supports that are available to foster parents as they foster. We will have different child placing agencies there, so Children's Home Society, Community Resource Group, which has just changed their name to Fostering First, I heard.
Okay.
Fostering Solutions and Community and Family Services will be there as well. And we'll have Coordinated Care, which is the insurance provider for children in foster care, Alliance for Child Welfare does trainings. We'll have a Q&A panel at 1 o'clock where there will be some actual live foster parents who are there, so the people who are there can ask questions to them. And there'll also be child welfare professionals such as social workers, CASA workers, so the community can learn more, get a broad view of what foster care is.
And obviously the need is there, or you wouldn't be holding the fair.
Absolutely, the need is absolutely there. The state of Washington, and actually even nationally, there's a crisis in foster care where there's a shortage of homes for children. So we are always looking for more families, single people, to step up and say, hey, how can I help? Even if that's on a volunteer basis, that's so needed and so appreciated. So we're hoping to get those people with those benevolent hearts there to come and learn more about how to either foster or how to support fostering.
And as I learned from Hayley, the only real requirement, there's some hoops you got to jump through, but the only real requirement is to give a damn. That's about it, right?
That's always priority number one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then there's the training requirements that can be shared with you at a later time. And then there are supports for you as well to foster. So like I mentioned, the health insurance, there's financial support. So we don't want to just send you out there. It's like, here's a child, have at it. Well, there's supports available for you to help take care of those children.
Is it a little more challenging this time of year with school now out or almost out for being a foster parent, because obviously if you're foster parenting a kid during the school year, the kid is off at school Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 3 or whatever, and that's an onus you don't have to worry about. But now it's what do I do all summer long?
Absolutely. There are programs that people who foster kiddos who are school age, they send their children to that in the summer. So that's something that's there, but it does add an extra challenge for people. People go on vacations. Sometimes they just want to have a grown-up vacation. So the child in care can either go and stay with maybe one of your friends who's had a background check and whatnot done, or go to respite with other foster parents who are certified to care for that child. So that's something that happens in the summer as well.
Who does the background check? We've talked about it, but what governmental agency is in charge of that?
Well, it goes to the state, and there's also a federal level as well.
Okay.
So it's a pretty thorough background check for people, because we want to make sure that children are going to safe people.
Obvious. That's a no-brainer. Why do we have a crisis going on right now for foster homes and foster parents? Why is it such a...
In large parts due to the opioid crisis. So families get involved in drugs, and it can wreck their lives, and it impacts their children, their ability to care for their children.
It destroys the bank account?
Absolutely. So kiddos get brought into care in large part due to abuse and neglect as a secondary issue to the drug epidemic.
But there's a lot of success stories out there, and there's a lot of folks who do this all the time. That's basically what they do, and there's some money involved, but for the most part they do it because they just love to do it.
Right.
And they understand there's a need out there, and some of these people are going to be there on Saturday. Right?
Absolutely. I will put a note out there. So I learned that recently here in Chelan-Douglas County, this is apparently called Reunification Month as well, where they're celebrating families who have gone through those hard things, have hit rock bottom, and have built themselves back up to get their children back. And that's being celebrated for the first time this month. I don't know the dates, but it's being celebrated at Chelan-Douglas Court and Douglas County Court to celebrate those families who have done the hard work to get their kids back, which is amazing, and I love that that's happening.
And most of the time when that happens, when your kid is taken away from you because you're messing up, that's usually the demarcation line, isn't it? I mean, either people say, Jesus, I really do got to get my act together, or they go off on the other side.
And both of those can happen, and sometimes when those people go off on the other side and maybe disappear for a while, it doesn't mean that they aren't necessarily wanting to get their kids back, and sometimes when they go away, they sometimes do come back and they start getting with it and they get their kids back, and that's a great thing.
And there are different challenges for different kids on simply by age group, right? I mean, there's a big difference between fostering a 4-year-old and a 14-year-old.
Absolutely. Some people, prefer fostering teenagers because they don't want to do the diapers, they don't want to do the potty training, they don't want to, the terrible twos, although the terrific twos is what they call them now. Yes. But then some people don't want to deal with the teenager who is trying to assert their independence, and that's challenging for people.
Hormones
as well.
run amok can be a challenge. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So not everyone is necessarily going to be a fit for every single age group to foster, and that's okay. We need people to foster all age groups.
Is one of the underlying goals is if there's like a couple of kids, like a 5-year-old boy and a 3-year-old girl, to keep the family together in these kinds of instances?
That's absolutely the hope and the goal. That's a priority, and that's a federal mandate, and the state does strive to do that. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work out that way because maybe a foster home isn't available that has the space to meet a sibling group. So if you're someone who does have that space to do that, we definitely would love to hear from you.
At what point does a kid no longer in the foster system? I mean, do they age out, I guess, is the question I'm asking? Is that...
Well, there's multiple ways they can get out of the foster system. So one is that reunification with the bio parent or even a relative. Two, if that doesn't happen, there could be what's called a termination of parental rights that occurs. And then the foster parent could have the choice to adopt that child. So that's an opportunity to get out of care. The foster parent doesn't have to adopt the child, but the child will be available for adoption, and the hope is someone will adopt that child. Then there's some youth who get to the point where they didn't reunify with their family. They weren't adopted for whatever reason, and then yes, those young people do what they call age out of foster care, which is not an ideal situation for a young person.
No, all kids, regardless of your age, need stability and need a home life. For the prospective foster care folks out there, yes, there is a background check, but there are more things to it than just a background check, and there's How does the state oversee the foster parent, I guess is the question I'm trying to get. Okay, I want to be a foster parent. What kind of supervision is the state giving me? What kind of oversight? Do they drop by now and again? Do they cut me a check? What is that?
Yes, so initially to get licensed, again, there's the background check, there's training and requirements, and there's something that's called a home study, where a person, their title is a licensor, and that person goes into the home and essentially does a safety check. There's a whole checklist based upon the age of the children that you have to have your home up to those standards in order to get approved to foster. There's an interview process, so they want to get to know you. They want to get to know about your background, your motivation to foster, and to see if it's a good fit for you. Once you do go through that process and you get your license, then when a child's placed in your home, a CPS social worker will visit your home at least once a month to check in on the family to see how are you doing as a foster parent. Do you need any support or services to help take care of this child or children in your home? It's also to check in on the safety and welfare of the child. And there are occasionally those random checks. The computer system they use for the state sends out a tickler. It says, all right, it's time for an unannounced visit. And the social worker has X amount of days to go out and pop in to see that child.
And we mentioned before, they want to keep, if there's a family unit of siblings, they want to keep them together if it's at all possible, is priority number one. But if you have a couple of kids around the same age, that's a good thing to have, a good dynamic, right? If you want to foster kids and you got you got a couple of kids around their age already in your household and you have the room for them.
I think so. I've heard from many foster parents that they think that it's beneficial for their own maybe biological children or even other kids and kids. It's beneficial for their children to experience having children in foster care in their home. I actually, there was a foster parent who was at our fair we had last year at Pybus. She was on our panel, and it's so etched in my brain how she said, she's like, my children are better people because they are helping us foster. And I think there's no better way to teach your children compassion and how to care for your community than to welcome these vulnerable kiddos into your home.
Did you have any problem getting a panel together? My guess is with your foster family, they're like, I love doing it. I'll do whatever it takes to send the message out.
We didn't have any trouble. That's the beauty. The foster parents here in the Wenatchee Valley, especially here, they just love what they do, and they want to spread that across the mountaintops. So we don't have any shortage of people stepping up here saying, yes, please let me help you. So this
But we still need foster families.
Yes.
That need has not changed. In fact, it's gotten, as Hayley just mentioned, worse. And now there's one more thing I want to mention, and you can find all about this at the fair. There are different types of foster care. There's therapeutic foster care, there's respite foster care. Walk me through the different kinds of foster care.
Sure. Okay, so respite foster care, and actually I refer to that as the gateway drug to foster. But it's basically that short-term care. So if a child needs to go somewhere for a weekend, say the foster parents have a meeting they need to go to, an adult-only thing, they can then go to a respite home where they're watching them for a couple of days. And the reason why I call it gateway is because a lot of people that do that, they go, this is actually pretty great.
I think I can do this.
I think I could do more of this. So, but if you decide that the respite is just the thing for you to do that, that's great because respite is so needed. The next level would be more of like longer term care, and that really could be a week, a month, a year, because you don't really ever know when a child comes into care exactly how long they're going to be in care. So the general idea is to say, okay, if I'm going to say yes to this child, I'm going to bank on them maybe being here at least a year or more. So can you commit to that? And then therapeutic foster care is working with kiddos in care who maybe have need a little bit more support and a little more services to help them thrive in the community. So they might have some extra counseling, they might have some in-home supports. The agencies that provide that therapeutic foster care, so Fostering Solutions, Fostering First, Children's Home Society, they have their own staff that helps wrap around that family too to help them take care of that child and meet their needs.
And they're all good people. They're all good people. Yeah.
Absolutely.
They have a passion for that work. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
One more item of business before I cut you loose. Megan, I don't know if we had that poster. I think we were able to throw that poster up. There you go. That's the information that you need. One last question. People say, I think I'm going to pass a background check. Everything, I think I might want to get involved in this, but I don't have enough money to take care of a 5-year-old kid. There is they take care of you financially, right, as far as food and clothing and things like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Those basic necessities are met in that foster care per diem to make sure that the child is getting what they need and that you're not. Yes, exactly. So they don't want you to rely on the foster care per diem to meet your own bills and own needs, because that is definitely a requirement. We want that money to go towards the child.
And that's one of the things they're going to be checking on when they drop by every once in a while, to making sure that the money that they're sending you to take care of the kid, you're spending on the kid.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, Hayley, it's good to see you again. Saturday, June 22nd at the Pybus Public Market. It's at the Local Tel Event Center. Got to make sure I got that in there. It's from noon to 3. The panel Q&A is at 1 o'clock. Drop by anytime through there. If you think you might be interested, if even remotely interested, pop by this fair and say hi to Hayley and the folks. And hopefully we can get more people out there.
It was a successful
kids.
event last year.
Yeah.
We actually had a couple families that went to that come through the process, and they're now licensed. So every bit helps. So
Yes,
we're glad
and
for
the
that.
need does not end.
Right.
There's no easy way to put that. It's just there it is. It's good to see you, Hayley.
Thanks.
Let your husband know I'll be dropping by for a cold one again one of these days.
Will do.
So,
Perfect.
and I'll get that Wells and Wade Ale so I can help out this month's charity.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks, Hayley.
Thank
You're
you.
watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
That's pretty much it. It's a great house, great neighborhood.
It's great. Sam's still getting used to the idea of moving.
Sam, play basketball?
Yeah.
Let me show you something. Now I'm thinking, you put your hoop right here, and you even got enough room for a three-point line. One of the things I've noticed is that if you got a hoop in your driveway, you make friends real fast.
At Coldwell Banker Levine, our agents don't just understand real estate, they understand what home is all about.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
The Pirates are coming! The Pirates are coming to Lake Chelan on the 4th of July for our 3rd annual 4th of July Pirate Fun Run along the water. The fun run is either a 2K for the beginners or a 4K for those die-hard pirates. Participants get a free pirate t-shirt, and if you finish, you'll get a pirate medal. So go online for information at LakeChelanPiratefest.com. Get on board! A pirate's life for you at Lake Chelan.
I'm looking out into the water, and what I saw was a small hood, looked like a cone, and it in fact was her hood. Floating on the water, going through my mind was, I hope she's in that jacket.
We're back on a beautiful Friday morning. A couple of programming reminders before we take a look at the weather forecast. Tonight at 7 o'clock, live at Liebhoff Field at the Apple Bowl, we'll be televising the Wenatchee Valley College commencement exercises. We're looking forward to that. And then tune in tomorrow night at about 6:15 for our very first live Wenatchee Apple Sox broadcast as they take on the Walla Walla Sweets at Paul Thomas Senior Field. Yep, it's going to be busy for us in the broadcast metroplex over the weekend. Let's take a look at that weather forecast one more time for the National Weather Service. We got all smiles here. Little light breeze today, northwest wind about 11 to 14 miles an hour. It's kind of left over from yesterday afternoon's wind, not nearly as warm. We tied a record yesterday, 95, only 89 today. Beautiful day Saturday with all that outdoor activities going on, 92 for the forecast high, 94 on Sunday, a slight cool down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but another ridge of high pressure. It's going to start building up and give us just some gorgeous, gorgeous weather as next week is the last full week of spring. So there you go. For all you kids out there, have a great summer vacation. It's the last day of school. Get out and enjoy and have fun, but don't let your brains get soft. And don't forget, Sunday is Father's Day. So to all of you fathers out there, happy birthday. Have a great weekend. Provided the show isn't canceled, we'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.